All right, y'all, I am so excited for today's episode of Rooted in Redding. But before we get started, it's been so cold here. It is literally 48 degrees. And I'm gonna grab some coffee here at Old Shasta, which is a local coffee shop here on the west side of Redding. They've been here for 6 years. And we're gonna get warmed up a little bit before we start this episode. Okay, so now that we have our coffee, we are actually gonna head a few miles down and we're gonna tour a neighborhood on the west side called Salt Creek. What I love about it is the close proximity to coffee shops like Old Shasta. We're gonna drive by popular high schools that you should be aware of if you're moving here and wanna know about, so let's hit the road. All right, guys, we are back for another episode of Rooted in Redding. And if you are new to my channel, I'm Faith Barrett, your local guide to everything here in Redding. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But today we're gonna do a neighborhood tour on the west side, like I shared at Old Shasta. We've actually done a handful of neighborhood tours, but this one is really special because it's a new construction development called Salt Creek. Now, before getting to the development, we're gonna kind of drive by some key important things that might be, important to you, especially if you're looking to move to our area or consider Salt Creek as your next place. Right outside of Salt Creek, you're literally 7 minutes to Whiskeytown Lake. UPrep High School, which services 6th through 12th grade, is rated the #1 school in our area. And then right next door is Shasta High School, which obviously services high school. And it is our largest high school actually in our area, and they service close to about 1,600 students in our area. Now, a lot of reasons why people love to live on the west side is the proximity to the local hospitals that we have here, which is Mercy Medical Center and Shasta Regional. So a lot of medical professionals live on the west side because of this. A lot of people also love the west side because of the outdoors. And as soon as we get to Salt Creek, I will show you a couple of the trailheads that are literally right outside your backyard that connect you to the Sacramento River Trail, all the way up to Keswick Dam. And a lot of people that are really into mountain biking or even just hiking and running love to live on the west side because of these very accessible trails. Now, another thing to consider right outside of Salt Creek is we have, again, Holiday Market Center. We've talked a lot about this in different various vlogs and kind of neighborhood tours. Holiday Market Center is a local shopping center and they have about 6 to 7 locations. And a lot of people love that literally you can find everything you need right at Holiday. And from Salt Creek, the subdivision that we're headed to, all the way to Holiday, you're maybe 3 to 4 minutes away. So Salt Creek has a lot of things to offer, from the amenities nearby to Whiskeytown to the outdoor activities right outside your backyard. But the neighborhood itself has a bonus thing that I think is going to be a really big highlight, especially if you're a family moving to our area. So let's go explore Salt Creek. So as we shared in the car, the cool part about Salt Creek subdivision is there's literally trails right out your back door. And we're right here on the Buenaventura Trail that connects to the Upper Sacramento Trail, where people get a hike, bike, run, and even connect themselves to some of the best trails that Redding has to offer right here in their backyard. Now, Salt Creek was a new construction subdivision that started in 2017 by Palomar Builders. It was slated to be 440 homes, and although I'd love to say that it's completed, it stopped once Jeb Allen actually said, hey, I'm retiring, and put all the project on pause. So we're gonna talk a little bit about how DR Horton has come into the mix and just actually opened up the newest part of Salt Creek, which is Harland. But before we get into that, Salt Creek, with Jeb Allen's side of things, really had a different style, modern take versus the traditional new construction home that you might see over on the east side or just really anywhere. It's not just your average new construction subdivision, as there's just so much different style and varieties to this neighborhood. Now, if you're curious about prices here in Salt Creek, with Jeb Allen and his subdivision that he built out, up until this point, those price ranges are anywhere between about $600,000 to a little over $800,000, and it really comes down to, does the lot have a view side? Does it have a pool? How big is the house? And these houses really range from about 2,000 square feet to a little over 2,300 square feet. Now, with DR Horton coming in, we have kind of seen DR Horton come in on our east side of our area and really have built out new construction homes at a very affordable price. And as they are building out this new construction subdivision called Harlan, now inside of Salt Creek, we're starting to see that those starting prices are in the low $600,000 range. Now, truthfully, there is going to be differences in amenities and styles that kind of suppress that price point to be a little bit lower compared to what Jeb Allen was building back in 2017. And you know, a lot of that has to do that DR Horton doesn't do a ton of customizations. There's no special packages that you get to pick from, whereas when Jeb Allen was here building, you could pick your cabinet colors, you could pick, you know, extra amenities in regards to if you wanted a tile fireplace. There was a lot of more customization that kind of drove those prices up. So let's go check them out. And actually for this specific neighborhood, Harlan, this will actually be my first time walking through their model home. So I'm curious all that they have to offer, especially this new community. So that's the model home for Harlan. Now, what's really cool about the DR Horton subdivision that's coming in here is that it will all be 4 bedrooms, 3-car garages, and like I said, you're gonna range anywhere between a little over 1,800 square feet to about 2,300 square feet, and all homes will have solar included in it. Now we're gonna head over to Lower Springs, which is where our listing is, which used to be the model home for this subdivision when Palomar Builders was here. This one is 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a 3-car garage, 1,980 square feet. We have it currently listed for $675 because it's a view lot, which is really cool. So let's go take a look. Now, before we wrap up this neighborhood tour and we talk about that bonus feature, I'm gonna kind of show you this little small pocket of townhomes that was also developed. So these townhomes are 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a little bit over 2,000 square feet, has an attached 2-car garage. This is an HOA part of Salt Creek. This is the only part of the HOA, and the HOA typically runs around $80 a month. So this is kind of a really great way to be in this neighborhood without paying the $600,000 to maybe well over $800,000 price point, because on average these townhomes run about $380,000. Now, DR Horton is going to also be finishing out this project, and that is going to be called the Aurora, where they're going to be coming in with additional townhomes, kind of filling in the vacant lots that Palomar Builders didn't finish when they were constructing this subdivision. All right, to end this neighborhood tour, let's talk about the bonus feature for this subdivision. Now, what's really cool is that there is almost a 14-acre park right here called Salt Creek Neighborhood Park, and it has a soccer field, playground for kiddos, and it's just a huge bonus to this community because, one, with being in Salt Creek subdivision, there is no HOA, so this is a free resource to you as a neighbor. Now, we've talked a lot about pros in this neighborhood, from the amenities to downtown to the bike trails to Whiskey Town access. The only slight con that I'll say about this neighborhood is that back in 2017, our area really experienced a devastating fire called the Carr Fire, and the Carr Fire really affected the west side area. Now, Salt Creek really wasn't affected too much, but the back landscape area of some of the view lots still has a little bit of a burn scar. And so for some people, they may not really like that too much, but truthfully, as I've watched, nature redevelop, trees grow back, you don't really see it as much. But if you are coming into our area for the very first time, you are going to still see a little bit of the Carr Fire burn scar, definitely on the west side. So with that also being said, make sure if you do decide to live in this neighborhood, check the fire insurance, because with being in a little bit of a more high fire zone, despite it being new construction, it can lead to a little bit of a higher insurance premium cost. So I hope this neighborhood tour of Salt Creek subdivision was super helpful for you. And as we continue to see the development with DR Horton coming in, with the townhomes, they're part of this subdivision developing out, we'll keep you informed. But as always, I'm Faith Barrett, your local guide to everything here in Redding. And thanks for tuning into this week's episode of Rooted in Redding. We'll catch you next week and hopefully see you on another neighborhood tour so that you can call Redding your next home.